This isn't actually a very underrated, iconic character, Gay Perry.
I agree. I agree, and the way he plays it in a like, he's a hard ass, but
Yeah, he's
he
definitely a top. I agree.
I finally
Watched.
I finally
Watched.
I
finally
Watched.
I
finally
Watched.
I finally
Watched.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of I Finally Watched. This is David.
and this is Alon, and I finally watched Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. And also, Merry Christmas to everyone.
This is one of those movies that I sort of just stumbled upon, and it didn't have, I don't think it had a great theatrical run. And so I found the DVD. This was back when you could like blind buy a movie, and chances are it might be pretty good. You know, there's just a lot of movies you'd never heard of that you'd be like, oh, look at that. Now it's like you have so much information about movies from like the
I
internet,
feel like
from
that happens with like a lot of Denzel movies. Like you
what?
would just like find Deja Vu, pick it up and be like, "Oh fuck, Deja Vu's pretty good." Or like you find
Deja Vu
Inside
is a,
Man and you're like, "Oh, that's pretty good."
I mean, Inside Man's a Spike Lee movie, and Deja Vu is a Scott movie.
Yeah, which I now think you just find them in like the $5 bin.
Yeah, well, yeah. Now I don't know. They don't. Walmart's have mostly gotten rid of the $5 bin, but because this was a movie that I just bought, didn't really know a lot about, gave it a chance. The expectations were nothing, and I loved it.
Yeah, but you're saying it in a way that like, oh, Inside Man would never be like that because of Spike Lee. But like Shane Black has a pretty big name for himself back then too.
Well, I mean, this is his first this is directorial debut. He was a
Oh, it
screenwriter.
is.
I don't know a lot of screenwriter names. Obviously, there's a few.
When we were picking our best Batman movie,
Right. I mean, so the reason I watched this movie,
taking like the directors and the writers into consideration, I was like, this one writer
yeah,
that I might have heard of. Although I should have maybe picked Shane Black to write a Batman movie. I don't know. Hindsight.
it would definitely be a Christmas movie. So the reason I watched this movie was because I was a big Val Kilmer fan. The reason we are doing this is because Val Kilmer passed this year. We did Tombstone earlier. We were going to do Spotlight as our Christmas movie, and then we are going to do Kiss Kiss Bang Bang
I
as
was gonna
well.
say I thought we were doing this movie this year because Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is a Christmas movie.
Yeah, it can be multiple things. I decided to not move Kiss Kiss Bang Bang a year from now because of the passing of Val Kilmer, and I just wanted to do it. This movie reminds me of a lot of movies that sort of came out around this time, like in the early 2000s, right? Lucky Number 11 comes to mind. Brick, which is one that you want to do. What's
Yeah.
what's what's amazing about this movie is it found like the perfect script for the perfect actor. You know, Robert Downey Jr. doing that meta commentary, sarcastic. I think at that time, there's maybe one other person that I think could have done a really great job on this, and that would have been Ryan Reynolds, because he also sort of has this
Yeah.
thing in him. I think it would be less great now because he's sort of become a caricature of himself.
I was gonna say
Although
he's become memed.
I also think RDJ maybe a little bit too, right? Although he just had the
Maybe
Oppenheimer thing, but
so, but I think he has the suaveness that like Ryan Reynolds just doesn't have.
anymore.
Like the charm. There's some sort of like a different charm that Ryan Reynolds kind of lost along the way, and he's become, like you said, a caricature of himself. I also want to say that this is, I believe, the first movie RDJ did once he recovered from rehab.
It's yeah, yeah. The Ryan Reynolds thing, though, back to that, I think the diminishing returns we have with him is just like he hasn't made a good movie in a while, right? Like even Deadpool and Wolverine, it's like okay, yeah, it's like the third of that. But other than the Deadpool movies, it's like what's the last good thing he's made that you're like, oh yeah, I like that movie.
I like Free Guy.
I mean, I think that was a pretty hit or miss movie for people. I
I
think people get, but you know, what I mean, like he's just done a lot of bad with that, like your red ones.
but also none of them are cinematic masterpieces either, right? I mean, to be fair, I don't think he's ever done a cinematic masterpiece, but even something as charming as what's that one where he is like fat and he has a best friend
Just
and
Friends,
Just Friends. I think Just Friends has some value where it can go down as like a classic rom-com,
right?
but he hasn't done something everlasting in a while.
Yeah, in a long time. I think at this time though, 2005, I think he would have done a great job with this. And this is like this movie. Obviously, I already said this, but it's a very meta movie. It's obviously this like neo noir. It sort of tells you where the movie's going, and RDJ is perfect for that. And it's such a great blend that Shane Black does of comedy and action, and just like an interesting story.
So watching it for the first time, I think a long time ago I came across this movie just playing on TV.
Yeah.
And it was like towards the end, it was when they were like leaving the insane asylum and they were being stopped by that super tall black guy.
Okay.
That dude must have been like 6'7". 6'7".
Oh fuck! You didn't really just do that.
But as far as the meta commentary that I was not aware of in this movie, when it started to do that in the beginning of the film, it kind of caught me off guard. And I was like, "Oh, is this going to work?" And I think it works really well.
I agree. I think the movie each time I've watched this is either the third or fourth time I've watched it. Every time it starts off a little slow for me, where I'm like, it sort of starts off as a movie that I'm like, oh, this doesn't look that good.
I don't agree with you. I think there's moments in the movie like definitely the beginning to end part is really fast paced. A lot of action, a lot of moving pieces. But I think there's some really charming scenes in the beginning that do move it along. Like him running away from the cops and getting into the casting room. I think that's like an iconic scene that moves the story along in an interesting way.
Yeah, I agree. But the party, and then also the really, it starts with the flashback to the kids,
Yeah.
which the only real problem I have with this movie is I think that's a very super like convenient. Oh, they just these two that happen to be friends in like as kids,
You know how they
both
solved it?
how.
They mentioned, "Oh, it's destiny," and that clears up everything.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah, they said our RDG said, "Oh, it must be destiny." So you actually can't complain about that part of the movie anymore.
So if 2049 had just used the word destiny, you wouldn't have had a problem with that. That's interesting. Okay. And then also
Maybe.
Robert Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Your whole facade is collapsing on itself. RDJ talks about how this is like the one that got away, the love of his life, and 18 years have passed and he didn't recognize her at all. He's like, "Oh
I
shit,
mean,
it is you."
from a little girl, he's
Well,
supposed to
she left.
recognize her.
No, she left when she was 16. They went to
Do
high
people
school
look?
together.
Do people look the same at 16 to 34?
Everyone I went to high school with looks like the exact same. I This is actually an instance we've talked about this before where they should have just used like a young looking RDJ. Like they should have put them in like the outfits.
Fun fact is the young character of RDJ that does the magician thing. That's actually RDJ's son.
Do you know who the little girl is?
No,
It is the first movie role of Ariel Winter from
who
Modern
is?
Family, the youngest daughter from Modern Family.
Oh,
Yeah. But I think if like those two don't look anything like their characters, which then makes it like, oh, it makes sense that RDJ doesn't recognize her because it's a completely different person. But yeah, most of the people I went to high school with look very much like they did at 18 when I last saw them.
except more wrinkles and balding.
Some of them have kept their hair, some of them have gone to Turkey, who knows. So like just the idea that he doesn't recognize her at all is a little weird. And then also you just glancing over the part that oh no, it's fine in this movie that I like, but it's not fine in the other one. I don't know. Just you're a little full of shit, but that's fine.
No, no, no. I mean, I agree with you. I think they should have just used like you could have just made them both look younger. I think easier with Michelle, harder with Robert. Robert Downey Jr. was 40 years old at the time. So,
Right. He looks young as shit though, honestly, in
I
this.
mean, he still looks youngish. He looks great.
I guess the drugs did well for him. It's also with as meta as this movie is, I don't even know that the I was obviously being facetious because like movies rely on coincidence all the time. I'm just fucking with you. But if they had thought about like, oh, people having a problem with that, you could have just had RDJ saying, and yeah, I know it's a little coincidental that I happened to run into the school from high school, like that we both went to this little town in Illinois or whatever. But fuck it, it's a movie. You know what? Like he could have just dispelled it with like dialogue.
Because then I think what would happen if that happened, you would have to dispel everything, which is the Gossamer film also filmed there, which led to the murder, which led to her sister,
That's
and
just, but
like,
that's also how life works,
but it
right?
would have also been the conjecture, like the like him showing up at that party at that exact moment and everything like that. That's all coincidence.
Correct. But like the Gossamer thing happening and it leading to Harmony and then her sister wanting to go to LA. That's just actually just like how life works, right? Like an event happened that shaped their lives, and so that's why they ended up in LA.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I understand, but then I think it's probably better not to mention it in the meta commentary and just like go with it and I mean also don't you think plenty is mentioned within that commentary?
Yeah, I think it's actually a great exposition dump in the beginning of the movie. Like, it establishes, the Harmony, her family life, how she was I mean, I was about to say this. It's a fucking very dark movie for
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it is a dark comedy.
No, for sure. For
Like the
sure.
fact when he plays Russian roulette with the guy and it's the first bullet and he kills the guy, it's like you don't see that much in movies thing like in comedic movies. I think Fargo is an example of something like that could happen in that, right? But
I'm
like
pretty sure Superman did that this year.
I haven't seen Superman.
Lex Luthor puts in a bullet, rolls it, shoots it. I don't think it was the first bullet, but I'm pretty sure it was the second bullet that kills the guy.
But that's also expected. This is our hero, right?
That's true. That's true. But like,
Luthor is a baddie.
right, is he? The thing with Shane Black films, especially like these films. When I say these films, I mean this film and The Nice Guys. Also, you could clump Lethal Weapon into this too. Is that we basically are rooting for anti-heroes with a degree of like chivalry to them, like a kind of a white knight sort of thing happening here,
Yeah.
especially especially in this movie where she calls him Whitey, which is the reference to their mascot, which is literally a white knight, which is also part of the meta commentary of this. But I was waiting for like one of the guys to like show up with a tattoo on his arms of like a red herring and be like, "Oh, that's weird." But
Well,
um
so in this movie though, RDJ is like in 2005 is just like a very nice good guy, right? He's like the nice guy who gets screwed over by the hot girl in high school who couldn't see that he was like, that she should have gone for him, right? Like he was a /R nice guy from like,
in the beginning, were they hinting that he has a kid?
that's his niece. So he's a brother sister or whatever.
Oh, it's a niece. Okay, okay. Because he's now a thief. I can't tell you how much I enjoyed him running from the cops, ending up in the casting room, and then they think he's ad-libbing,
Yeah.
and they hire him pretty much on the spot. That is like one of the most cathartic. Like if you've ever tried to be an actor or end up in one of those casting rooms, that's a very cathartic scene.
Well, I love so Larry Miller that plays Dabney that just to me like looks at the cast and she's like, wow. Like just
Yeah.
like can't believe how good this guy is. But I guess, you pointing out that this guy's a thief, that does sort of lead into being like an anti-hero. But besides that, he's like a very good guy by those standards. I think now, 2025, if you get like the Twitterverse on him, they'd be like, oh, he's judging this woman because of her sexual past. He's not actually
Well,
a good guy. He's trying to be
there's that.
controlling.
You could even say that this movie is very sexist and homophobic, or not really homophobic, but misogynistic, definitely.
I think it would sort of get that. It's a product of its past. If you had an actual gay person playing Gay Perry, making those jokes, that's how you would insulate yourself from that.
Well, you would have to. Like in 2025, if your character is gay, you better cast a gay actor. You can't
Well, no,
have
you
it
can
playing both ways.
you can still have it, but then making these type of jokes is where, like, I think you would have an issue.
Maybe. Also, like, can Val Kilmer do anything wrong?
What do you mean?
Like, I know he passed now, but I'm saying like even though like in the height of all the scrutiny people are facing, like you put Val Kilmer in a movie with the same character in 2025, like is anyone gonna say shit? It's fucking Val Kilmer.
No, because he's dead, but also because he couldn't speak in 2025 either. Like, I don't know what you're
Oh,
doing
you're
right now.
missing the like
People love Val Kilmer.
people love Val Kilmer.
I love Val Kilmer. I think the first really funny moment in this is the smash cut from when he's like, "Yeah, let's take this outside," to him getting his ass kicked.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was gonna say earlier. Is that like Nice Guys? Shane Black sets up things. Happens in Iron Man 3 too, but he sets up things where like in any other noir movie, action hero movie, detective movie, it's supposed to go one way, but Shane Black makes sure that it goes in the opposite way. Reminds me of like the early Mission Impossible movies
How so?
where they're like talking, or Ocean 11 movies where they're talking about the plan, they all lay out the plan, but then the plan goes horribly wrong.
Right. Okay, I can see that. So then he follows Michelle Monaghan's character, Monaghan. Moynihan? Monaghan.
Monahan.
Monaghan.
Mahogany.
There we go. She has the quintessential stereotypical best friend who's like trying to protect her from guys.
Yeah, the fugly friend.
What
Homely
What's
friend.
funny is we get that opening scene of the magician and the girl, and then we find out pretty quickly that she's the girl. And then I was like, "Oh, okay, so that's it." I thought for some reason he's the guy, and then we get, "Oh no, he's the guy as well." Like that they did know each other.
Yeah, I like the, "Hey, can we get these fucking extras out of the way of the shot?" Like, when they go back to the flashback.
Also, when he tells Gay Perry, like, "Oh yeah, she promised them not to fuck my best friend," it's like, okay, well, she fucked that guy too.
That was one of the best moments of the movie where she's, like, teasing him and, like, prodding him, and he's like, "I'm not this good of a guy, and I can't be put in this situation," and then he finds out she fucks his best friend 18 years ago, immediately kicks her ass out.
Maybe should have waited to tell him until after. He probably would have taken it
Mhm.
better.
Yeah.
So the next funny moment is another smash cut to he asks her to come up. Your friend can come too. Wakes up and he's in bed with the friend, which the explanation for is like, oh, I got scared. It's like a little bit thin, but it does sort of, I guess, make sense with his character of like he never thought he would get a chance with her. Like he just never thought it was going to work.
I think it really works out where towards the end of the movie where he's talking to her in front of the car valet and he's like explaining his life to her, like, "I'm a thief, I never finish anything I started, whether that's college or marriage or anything like that." And then wraps up being like, "Oh, that's why I slept with your friend, because I didn't want to go for the one I really wanted, more of a settling situation." And then in that scene, his tag of his collar is poking out, to which at that moment I turned to Taylor and I was like, "Wow, it really bothers me that they couldn't just like put the fucking tag in his shirt." And she addresses it and she does it, and I was like, "Oh fuck, never mind." Which only shows like how well planned this movie is from start to finish, because there's when you do a movie like this where has the commentary, you go back multiple times, you change things, reshape the history of the movie according to like the character's remembrance of it and everything like that. And this is also to show how strong of a writer Shane Black is that you have to have every second of this movie planned out before going out and shooting it. And
Yeah,
I think the mystery in this movie is a really good mystery. Like, I think it really works very well.
correct. Also, I mean, we haven't mentioned enough. Val Kilmer sort of steals the movie. Like he's in a movie with RDJ. I think he's the funniest part of it.
Well, he's like the Russell Crowe of the nice guys.
So, right. Well, so when he's like, when RDJ in the beginning, he's like, "Are you still gay?" He's like, "No, I'm knee deep in pussy." And then I will say his one flaw that Perry seems to have is he has terrible gaydar for a gay man. Because he's like, "Oh, Chook, that's a gay guy," and then we find out later that Chook fucked.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Although he's egging on the guy who's torturing RDJ in that chair,
Yeah,
and he's like, "You can never, you can always like disrupt a homophobe or
you're,
whatever
s-
he says."
yeah, you're still not. He's still not saying no.
Yeah,
He's
it's
like, "Oh
pretty
yeah,
good.
homophobes never check." He's like, "I had a gun hidden in my balls."
Homophobes never check. Yeah.
So it's I love the delineation of the movie, right? So day two, Lady in the Lake, which I guess all of these the titles of the different days are mystery novels like these, but RDJ spells it out immediately. He's like, "There's always two cases, seemingly unrelated. One's weird and one's normal." And I was just thinking as I read that, I was like, "Wait, which one's the normal one?" And then oh, you find out it's like, oh, the sister does kill herself. That actually is what happened.
Well, Val Kilmer says that right off the bat. He goes, "Concentrate on my case. Drop Michelle Monaghan. Her sister killed
Well,
herself. There's no
Montague,
mystery." Monaghan, whatever. Fuck, whatever. But he says the sister killed herself. There's no mystery there.
right?
Which later on, while that is ends up being true, later on we do know that the cases are connected. And I love the way we find this out is through her last name being Ames.
Correct. And the movie does a good thing of like it tells you in the beginning how everything's going to play out, and then it sort of diverts your attention, and then like at the end it's like, "See, I told you so." Like she killed herself. There's one weird case. There's one normal one, and she's almost the sister's almost like barely connected. She's
I
connected in that she found out
Yeah,
and Perry, but other than that, she's sort of her own separate thing.
it is insane that the sister killed herself because she was getting molested by her dad. And then when she goes to confront who she thinks is her real dad in LA, she sees him seemingly molesting his daughter.
Correct.
And that like pushed her over the edge. That is all kinds of fucked up.
It
The
is.
the guy from Psych, the dad from Psych being like, "Oh, I'm going to hire this chick to pretend to be my daughter, but I'm going to fuck her on the side."
It's not really my daughter. Do you think? Yeah, I don't. We don't even need to get
Do you
into that.
think what? I think I know what you're going to say, and yes.
He called her by the yeah. He called her by his daughter's name. So we see a car fly into the lake. This leads to some of the early funny moments where uh, he's
He
like,
throws the gun in the lake.
but not only that, he's like, "Oh, we need to go to the cops." He's like, "Are you sure?" "Yeah, I'm sure the cops will have no problem believing she broke her neck before you shot her in the face." And then he turns that he's like, "Oh fuck!" He throws the gun, and then the best line is like, "Do you know? You should look up idiot in the dictionary. You know what you see?" He's like, "A picture of myself." He's like, "No, the definition of idiot, which you fucking are."
Yeah. Let me ask you something. Here's a mystery within a mystery movie. When that car goes over the edge and hits the water, Val Kilmer is like swimming in there and he's like, "Get the keys, get the keys." How does he know someone's in the trunk? Was it the sound that it made when it hit the water?
I think he was so experienced in like why he's so experienced in this world. He's like because he says no one's in the car. So he can see no one's driving it. So he knows that someone sent this car over that. Why would they have done that?
I'm
Check the trunk.
I'm also pretty sure that when it hits the water, you hear a thud
Yeah.
in the trunk, and that's why he connected that too. But that's probably true also. I like the two guys in the ski masks, and we have like no idea who they are, but
Yeah.
then they reveal themselves later. If they just stayed out of the limelight, we would just still have no idea who those guys are.
Yeah, but I mean, they're following the mystery. They need to get them off of the trail.
Putting the dead girl in his shower was a pretty good idea on their part.
I agree. although they got caught. As he drives him home, he gets there and he's like, "All right, sleep badly, hesitate to call." And he's like, "It's bad, not badly." And he's like, "It's a fucking adverb who taught you grammar," which is like the callback to that later on. He's like, "It was only like an 8% chance." He's like, "Who fucking taught you math?"
Also, where he gets the call from the cop telling him that Michelle is dead, and he slumps back into his car, and he's like, "All right, I gotta go now." And he's like, being held up by. He's like, "I really gotta go now," and he just like sticks his arm out, lifts him off, and then drives away.
Yeah, and the movie only lets you sit in her being dead for like 30 seconds of
It
like
has to.
movie time.
It has to because the whole mystery of it is her sister.
Correct. So then she shows up. She's laying down. He's like, "Oh, there's a spider." And she's like, there was a spider. Okay." And he's like, "No, no." Like, she's like, "It's fine." And he says, "No biggie." And he's like, "No, it is a big fucking deal." And then she finds a spider leg and he's like, "That's not even the point anymore.
Well,
The point is you're a whore," is what he's really saying.
the whole like the precipice of that scene is attached to an earlier scene where she passes out at the party in the beginning of the
Yeah.
movie and she's about to get molested.
And then she goes home with that guy, but I guess she somehow recognizes he's an asshole. Maybe she's grown up a little bit. Who knows?
I I is We never see his face. Is that the guy she definitely goes home with?
Yeah, that's why he looks and is like annoyed.
Um but I mean, we already mentioned where he gets beat up by that guy, but him trying to come in and be the hero and say all the hero lines is pretty good.
So he pees on the dead girl, and he calls Val Kilmer. He's like, "Find the gun." While this is happening, we see the cops downstairs. Harmony, Michelle Monaghan, diverts them. She's like, "Oh no, it's actually on the 5th floor. I heard it. It's very loud."
Did he get
Find the,
his finger chopped off at this point?
that's a little bit. Is that? Yeah,
Because
no, that are.
I thought that's when he slept with her friend.
I believe so. Yeah, that's another funny through line throughout the movie. Like when he gets it pulled off again. So throws the body off the roof. I love the look Val Kilmer and RDJ have to each other when they're like they look to go up and they're like, "Oh shit, yeah, we can just do it that way." Val Kilmer was quoted, I think, probably on the commentary for this. The commentary is Val Kilmer, RDJ, and Shane Black. And on IMDb, there was a ton of quotes from it that seemed like it's actually like a very funny commentary if you have the time to watch it.
Okay.
He says that in order to get in the moment, he just thought of RDJ as Kevin Bacon.
To kiss him?
Yeah. He's like, just so I could get into the moment.
When that body falls off the roof and it almost lands in the dumpster, I thought that was a really funny moment.
Yes, it was.
Because why didn't they just put it in the dumpster? I guess it was right outside the hotel, so they couldn't do that. But yeah.
So finds the killers were at the party because that's how they recognized you. And Dexter's daughter was the girl killed. So he tells Harmony. And then he figures out that Ames hired Perry. And this is when she chops his finger off in the door. And I guess why was she pissed at this point?
Yeah, I was
I
trying
don't
to
know.
think of that. I was trying to
Was she
think
still
why
Is she still pissed because he slept with a friend, I guess? Or
he lied about it. No, he already lied about it.
I
I
can't
don't know.
remember why she's still mad at him because
Oh, is it because he lied about being a detective?
oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, and that's actually why this makes this a Christmas movie because he tells him to get out of town, and he says "Merry Christmas." He's like, "I already told Harmony you're not actually a detective. You're wasting your fucking time." And that's why
Oh, that's when they're on the roof. When they're on the roof, and he's like, "I thought we were friends."
That's all. Honestly, that scene seems like a scene that was added at the very end because they're like, "Wait, why is she fucking mad at him still?" You know what I mean? Like, seems
I
almost
love that
very.
scene. I thought that scene was great.
It is good, but it seems like it was added at the end because it's almost like it feels like it's shot differently. It's in a completely different spot than everything else. It's like on
Yeah.
this roof.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's why she's mad and cuts his finger off in the door, which you feel like it would smash it more than cut it off. And why did he only have one finger in there? Who
No,
knows?
he gets it sewn back on. But then when he's like confronted later by the killers, he gets it torn off again. I love the part where they're in the park and he's passing out in the back seat. She's trying to stop Val Kilmer from dying, right?
Yeah.
And the purple hair girl just drives away with him.
Yeah, steals the car.
He never makes it to the hospital.
She has a really nice fucking house.
Um, is that her house?
I don't know. Maybe it's the other guy's house. Oh, you know what though? She works for fucking Corbin Burnson.
Yeah.
So I was wondering. She's like, "Oh, I got the tape from my girl I work with," and they show it, and that's when we see Corbin Burnson. She's like, "Oh, that's
How did they get
Dexter."
him that young?
No, I'm sure that's from like a Law and Order type show or something. But I was like, why is it that tape? Why did they know to get that tape? And then I guess that must have been the movie that was filmed in back home in Illinois where they lived, or Iowa, or
Oh
whatever the
yeah,
fucking state.
that makes sense.
That's why, but it wasn't exactly explained very well right then. The hitman then tell Harry to leave, and then we go to the MacArthur Park scene, which you were just talking about, where Harmony knocks out the black guy. I thought she was gonna like shoot him right there, but then I guess you need him to be alive for later. But she's like, I have the gun on me. And instead of like using it to shoot the guy as he's choking her, she like knees him in the groin and then knocks him out.
She thought about killing him, but I don't think it's in her quite yet. I thought she was in on it. Did you ever think she was in on it?
Not exactly in on it, but maybe
Like not the murder, but the conspiracy against her sister.
yeah,
I thought
like a little more involved. She knew a little bit more than she was leading on, that type of thing.
I thought that's what the twist was going to be.
Yeah. Also, oh yeah, we skipped over. You're not getting the part. They're just trying to lower Colin Farrell's price. You're
Yeah.
just the young guy that got brought in. It's very funny. So, purple hair steals the car. I love the scene. I think it's some of Downey's best acting in this when the black guy shoots her and he has to like stop her from talking, like basically puts his finger over her mouth for her last breath, gets
Yeah.
up and grabs the gun and just kills the guy. Like the look on his face, he's like, because he does have this sort of white knightness about him, like throughout the movie. And he's fucking pissed that this guy killed this girl for no reason.
We found out the reason later, which I think I called earlier, but not in the podcast, but in real life while watching the movie, that she's the one impersonating the daughter, right?
Right.
And then the actual daughter is in an insane asylum for the majority of the time. But I think
Correct.
they had to get rid of her too, right? She was the dead body in the tub or in the shower slash trunk slash lake. I was confused on what the timeline was on like when they got her out in the insane asylum. They broke her neck and killed her immediately
I think so. Yeah. They might have even killed her in the insane asylum.
because he owns the clinic.
Correct. And
Yeah.
yeah, as they say, sort of right after this, they sort of act like this movie's over. There's a scene with Gay Perry and Robert Downey Jr. in Harmony. And he's like, yeah, the bad guys are killed. And the reason this all started is because the girl met her boyfriend at the airport and the boyfriend knew it wasn't her. So the jig was up. So that's what started all of this. I wonder if they killed the boyfriend. Feel like you have to.
I feel like you
Probably.
have to.
Maybe he should have been in the trunk as well. But, and then Perry's like, hey, let this go. You got to give up. Which leads to the scene in the hotel room where he's like, I guess I'll sleep on the couch. And she's like, well, if you don't think you can handle it, which, what would you have done, Alon? Would you have stayed on the couch? Would you have thought maybe it was her way of telling you to come to bed? What would your plan have been?
You're asking me if I was in RDJ's shoes where I'm completely single and
Yeah, you don't have a kid or a wife.
I,
This is your high school sweetheart.
it would have been lightning fast, David. It wouldn't have been a moment of hesitation. It would have been so quick. It would have been over in a blink. I couldn't even tell you how
You wouldn't have made it into the bed. You would have just been like, ah! All right.
I mean, there's that whole like thing where she's like, "Oh, I don't want to," and you have to respect that, obviously. But then it's like,
But then there's
she's
the implication.
then there's the implication, and then why is she setting you up like this? You have to think about these things, you know.
It is funny how, yeah, like She will sleep with anyone, but then she's like, "But you can come into bed, but nothing else is gonna happen." And I mean, it is like the classic, like she does really like him, but doesn't want to hurt him, so
Is
she
she
fucks other
drunk?
guys. She is definitely drunk. Yeah, she says that too, which is also probably why he should have just stayed on the couch. He's also drunk too. Um, yeah, I don't know. I
Two
think this.
wrongs make a right. It's
Well,
okay.
no, she. I mean, if he's more drunk, she's the pervert. No, but I think this is a situation where it's probably the safer move was, I guess, to stay on the couch. But like, yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't know.
I don't think I would have stayed on the couch. I think this is my move. Lay in bed. Don't do anything. Let her.
With your raging boner.
Let her do the
Well, and then
thing.
she's like, "I can take care of it," and he's like, "I don't want it to be like a fucking pity HJ." Like,
When did his friend that she slept with, when did that come up?
way early in the movie, she
No,
found
no,
out
no, no, no.
immediately,
His friend that she promised to never
right
sleep
then.
with.
In that scene, because she
Yeah.
starts making out with him. She was gonna, so she was going to fuck him right there, even though she said, "Don't get in bed with me," and she was drunk. Which,
No, she said get in bed with me, but we're not sleeping together.
fine.
But I'm saying, how did it in them making out? Did that conversation
She
come
was
up?
like, "I have a confession to make."
Oh, I have a
It's just,
confession to make.
it's
That's
just
right.
the worst timing ever. Just really bad
She didn't
timing.
want this to happen with like that guilt weighing over her, you know. And also,
He would have been fine.
fuck that friend.
Yeah, you know, we can cut this, but it's a total Seth move.
I was thinking that. We're not gonna cut it. We're gonna leave it in there. But
Just
for people who don't know, Seth is my best friend from high school, and he would pull that shit on me
you should call
100%.
just start calling him Chuck. No context. All right. So after this, there's a couple lines. Remember Veronica. He remembers Veronica had no underwear, and then after she leaves, and then she's like, "Was she raped?" And he's like, "No." And then she's like, "Oh, I figured this out." And it's sort of a diversion that she's like gone for a day, and Perry can't find her. But I think she solved it. And then when she comes back, she's like, "Oh no, I was just in the valley all day. Like I didn't get anything done." And we're like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, I thought what was interesting is there was a moment in the meta commentary where RDJ is telling us as the audience, like, I solved it. You should have too by now. Was there any way for us as the audience to solve it? Like, did people not wearing underwear in the insane asylum ever come up in the movie before this?
No, no. I think if you did, it would be one of those things where you made 1,000 guesses and one of them happened to be right.
Because if somehow you knew, I mean, maybe it was common knowledge in 2005 that people in mental institutions didn't wear underwear. Why don't you wear underwear in a mental institution? Can you hang yourself with your underwear?
Yeah,
Oh,
but I
I
mean,
guess because of the elastic.
but also like the born again Christian thing could have been bullshit, right? Like that might not have been true.
Mm-hmm.
And then even if she was, I guess you would know she's in an insane asylum, so it has to be a double. But I think just by seeing the pink haired girl working with them, you could have figured there was a double, or that the sister was the double, that she had been out there for a while, right? Like, you know. So I don't know. You could have figured it out, but I think it would have been a lot of like guesswork.
In a way, the sister was a red herring, wasn't she?
Yes, she was. And I think this movie does a really great job of not giving you enough information to solve it, but then when it is solved, it makes sense.
Oh yeah.
Which a lot of movies I think give you too many clues sometimes. Like I like, for example, the purple haired girl. She's wearing a purple wig. It's purple and it's kind of short, right? It's like,
The purple hair girl's wearing a purple wig. That's purple. Yes.
but it's also kind of short.
Mm-hmm.
And so the first time you find out that she could have been the doppelganger, the stand-in for the sister, is when she has long hair. She's taking the purple wig off. She has like long dark hair.
Yeah.
So it's like there's no way you would have pointed to her and been like, "Oh, she's the girl," right? Like
Also,
unless
why was she there at the park with the two hitmen?
because she works with them, but just because she works with them doesn't mean she works with the other guy and is the doppelganger.
That's true. Yeah, that was a little bit of a red herring in
But to
itself
be
too.
clear, right, she had purple hair.
The purple hair girl wearing the purple wig that was purple had purple hair. Yes,
Like a
I
Dr.
agree.
Seuss book.
Uh, the whore on the shore wearing the purple. door.
Careful, I don't think purple rhymes with that much though, if
Nurple.
anything.
Um,
So, day 4, Simple Art of Murder, and this is funny because he's in the car with Perry, and he's like, he asked me everything I told Michelle Monaghan. Nothing seems to mean anything to him, and then I tell him about the underwear, and he loses his fucking mind.
yeah,
And
so
then they
Perry
go,
gets it right away.
yes, but this is his job. So then they go to the mental clinic. They figure it out as they're leaving. The black guy pulls on them. This is a Shane Black trademark that he also did in The Last Boy Scout and The Long Kiss Goodnight. The whole you should stand 5 feet behind someone with a gun so they can't pull it from you. This is
Oh,
something he likes to put in his movies. I
yeah.
don't know if you guys talked about this over dinner at his kitchen.
Yeah.
So
He, we were talking about different other things. It's fine.
yeah. So I do. RDJ hits him with a gun after getting hit, and he's like, "See, I hit you for no reason. How does that feel?"
Like the triple turn of this scene where that guy has the gun on them, they have the gun on the guy, and then it's a reversal where now they are the ones at gunpoint yet again.
Well,
But
and
this
then
time Corbin is here.
correct, and then he intercepts the phone. He's like, "Help! Help! We like they've got us. Harmony, help us!" And then the guy steals the gun, and he's like, "It's just a carpet cleaning service." And you're like, "Oh fuck, they got fucked." And then it shows
Cuts to,
Harmony. Yeah,
oh my god, it was so good. And
she's so
and
good.
and it was the thing because it was the commercial, right?
Correct.
Like she's good at that sort of like commercial voice sort of dialect.
Correct. And she is like, this is sort of a con man movie, right? But not really. But she is the con.
No, for sure. For sure, for sure.
She's the best at it.
I was confused because she mentioned that she was like the girl in the Bear beer ad, but then at the very end of the movie, we see that it's a different girl.
You know who that girl is? She's the blonde girl at the bar
I knew
who
it.
she says she's so far past because she's 35, she can't do it. So when Perry sees her, he kind of smiles like, "Oh, look, she got her chance."
Yeah, but does that mean that she lied about being that girl on the
No,
commercial?
they replaced her. They got
Or
a new
she's the
girl.
new girl? Okay.
Yeah.
I also like her claim to fame was it almost diverts you as the audience member too. They're like, "Oh, that robot movie." And then you see the robot movie and you think, "Oh, she's in the robot movie." When in fact,
She's the
she
she's
kills the
well, she
guy
didn't
in
kill.
the
Oh
Oh,
no,
she
yeah,
did.
she did. Yeah, she did. It was in his
She did?
apartment. I forgot. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you know who the voice of the bear is in the commercial?
No idea.
It's Larry Fishburne, Lawrence Fishburne.
That's amazing. That's good.
Yeah. All right. The torture the balls scene. I like some of Val's best work. He's like, you could have stuck those on him anywhere, but you always do the balls is because you're gay. Just admit it. Just keeps giving it to him is hilarious. And then he
And then
shoots him.
shoots him with the Derringer. And I love when he's on the phone, she's like, "How did you guys get out of that?" And he's like, "I shot him with the tiny gun I keep between my balls."
So after this, they steal the car, or Harmony steals the body in the car. They're going along. Val Kilmer gets shot, and the bullet goes through and then hits RDJ. When RDJ starts giving him mouth to mouth, I just wanted Val Kilmer to be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like, I'm not dead. You know what I mean? Like, that's
Yeah,
not
but
what you do for a bullet wound.
really makes us think he's dead with him spitting up blood and shit.
Well, I think
And
it
then
actually, I think he got shot in the lung, which I think the mouth to mouth may have actually helped then.
maybe, oh, like clearing the
Yeah.
fluids. Maybe. I it's a very reminiscent, and it's also a reversal of when they're robbing the place and his friend gets shot,
Yeah.
and he gets shot first, goes through him and kills his friend, right?
Right.
But this is the opposite way, where it kills Val Kilmer, as presumably, and then hits him in the chest. I love the moment where he thinks he's saved by the book, and she's like, "No, it went through the book too." And he goes and feels his chest, and he goes, "Oh yeah," and passes out.
Yeah. So the end of this movie reminds me of that meme with like she wasn't exactly black, but it's the girl with glasses, probably like mixed, and she says, "This is why I hate video games. It appeals to the male fantasy." The end of this movie appeals to the male fantasy of he's hanging from the arm on the casket. He gets the gun to slide off, shoots Corbin Burnson dead, shoots the guy in the car dead, lands, like kills everybody. And like we don't even know if this guy has like any skills with guns whatsoever. And he's like, becomes a marksman right in this little bit, saves the day.
But they hint to that too, where we think the movie is ending, and then Michelle, Val, and RDJ are all talking about how when the actual Gossamer novels end, he escapes being tortured and kills 16 guys on his way out, and it's a
Yeah.
big shebang, right? Ending.
They definitely mentioned the torture scene too. So when it pops up, it's like, oh, there it is.
There it is. And then it wasn't 16 guys, but it was enough to be impressive. And then when he lands on the hood of the car, shoots the guy in the passenger seat, turns over, shoots the guy in the driver's seat, and he goes, "Okay, I'm done."
Got them all. Yeah, no, it's a very well staged action scene. It's very cool, but it just does remind me of like it is like a little boy's fantasy of like I would kill this guy first, and then I would jump on the car, and then I'd kill this guy.
It's true, all by hanging off the dead girl's arm.
So I felt like that this part was basically the epilogue, even though then the movie actually has an epilogue. But he's in the ER or in the hospital. Then Perry wheels in. He's like, "Yeah, studios are always afraid of having a downer ending." This is actually sort of a wink at Shane Black's Lethal Weapon 2 and The Long Kiss Goodnight, where the studio like stepped in because they thought the ending was too much of a downer and like changed some stuff. So
Oh,
that's why he
okay.
made that joke with like Abe Lincoln walking in
Yeah.
is very good.
Elvis.
And so then we get the explanation that the sister actually killed herself. Then we get an actual epilogue where Gay Perry goes and slaps around the molesting father. It's like, why didn't you just kill that guy? I guess, choke him to death, whatever. Could have done it.
I thought for one last joke was Gay Perry goes over there, you know, tells him he's a creep and a horrible person, slaps him around, and then we find out that he's at the wrong funeral. It's the wrong guy.
That actually would have been very funny.
And then we get what I think everyone wants at the end of The Nice Guys, where we get that confirmation on like, oh, they're like they started a detective agency together now and they're working together. And then it's like, oh, can we get a sequel where they're working together?
Would have been great. We have no idea if he's still with Harmony. I would guess not. They probably were together for a little bit, and then she's off, doing other guys.
I don't care about that. As long as he's still together with Val, that's all that matters to
That
me.
actually is true. That is like I would be more upset if they weren't working together than if he didn't get the girl.
But that's the thing. It's like
That's
that
peak male fantasy if he gets the girl at the end.
exactly. Actually, I thought you were going to say that's peak male fantasy if he gets Val at the end.
It's
The thing too
my
with
male
like
fantasy in the early 2000s.
The Nice Guys needs a sequel because I don't think we ever get confirmation at the end of that movie where Gosling and Crow like are now in the detective business together.
It is funny. Shane Black has such a little bit of like an up and down career. So Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, amazing. Iron Man 3, I thought was pretty good. The Nice Guys, awesome. And then The Predator and then Play Dirty, I have not seen.
Heard it's bad.
Yeah. So the last two, not great. It says he has something called Doc Savage in development unknown. I mean, he needs to bring it back. That's
Yeah,
all I'm
to the
saying.
good old film noir days, baby. Well, I mean, it's interesting too, right? Because he kind of brings RDJ back into the limelight with this movie after Rehab. And then RDJ kind of brings him back into the limelight with Iron Man 3 after his rehab. And I kind of like that relationship, how they're just kind of, you know, giving each other a chance after kind of like a second chance sort of thing, you know?
Well, and RDJ said that this is sort of like the key to what, his character is Tony Stark, and that John Favreau saw this and wanted him for the role of Iron Man. Fun fact. So the opening party that takes place at Dexter's mansion, that's actually Shane Black's mansion. Did you know that? Did you
Oh, I
recognize
need
it?
to watch that movie. I need to look at that again. I've been there. I need to look at that again.
I know, when you completely fucked up your relationship with him. You tried to big time him in front of his guests.
Oh,
You
he
were
found
at one of the parties.
No, I was at one of the parties, but he found that funny. Don't shame me in that. He found that funny.
By the way, this is a Warner Brothers movie. Why the fuck is this not on HBO Max? Like, why the fuck?
Oh yeah, you're right. I don't know.
This is nowhere. But I happen to own it, so that's fine.
That's good for you. I had to buy it.
It's unfortunate. So the lookalike game that they play at the beginning, where he's like, "Oh, there's Indian Joe Pesci." So Shane Black just had like placeholder jokes in there, bald Kevin Costner and black Patrick Swayze. And then when they just had all the extras lined up, they had to like find people that sort of worked for that.
I thought it was pretty good.
It was good. Shane Black screened two 1960s detective classics, Harper and Point Blank, as like inspiration for his cast, which would be a cool idea for a like month, by the way, is if like we have a huge release coming up of like Quentin Tarantino, Scorsese, or whatever, and he like says these are the inspirations for that movie, we should do a whole month of stuff like that, because like
I agree. I like
that would be fucking good. So Warner Brothers was willing to produce this movie with a much larger budget if Harrison Ford was playing the detective. When he passed on it, several others were considered before Val Kilmer was offered the role. I think Harrison Ford would have been good at that. Is Harrison Ford going to play Gay Perry though? I don't even know if he would do that.
I don't know, but also
He's not he couldn't be a convincing gay man.
I mean, Val doesn't exactly like play the character like wearing gay on his shoulder.
Listen, gay people can be whatever they want, Alon. I just
But
don't think.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think they can be
It's
Harrison Ford though.
Oh, you don't think that? Okay, that's where you draw the line.
Johnny Knoxville was set to star as Harry Lockhart before being replaced by RDJ.
Much better choice.
Yeah, I know. Johnny would have killed it. And then Warner Brothers considered Benicio del Toro for Harry and Hugh Grant for Gay Perry early in production, which actually would have been pretty good.
That would have been pretty good. Actually, you could even switch those, and that would have still been pretty good.
Val has a pretty great career of like memorable characters. We did Tombstone earlier this year. I'm a huge fan of The Ghost in the Darkness. This isn't actually a very underrated, iconic character, Gay Perry.
I agree, and the way he plays it in a like he's a hard ass, but
yeah, he's definitely a top. I agree.
He cares about RDJ, even though for the majority of the movie doesn't even want to show it.
Correct. I mean, like I said, this is a great movie, and it's maybe the most tangentially related to Christmas, right? Like he just says Merry Christmas at one time. I'm not even sure if I remember seeing Christmas lights in this movie.
Well, Michelle is wearing like this tiny little
yeah
Santa costume.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that was good. That was good. It was very memorable. So,
and there's Christmas lights in the park. Well, thanks for listening to another episode of I Finally Watched. I'm Alon.
And this is David.
And I finally watched Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Merry Christmas, y'all.